Hey, what's up everybody? TooTallToby here, and in today's SolidWorks Power Move, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about doubled dimensions, diameter dimensions, and creating a doubled angle dimension by using a construction line. So this is kind of a little bit more of a nuanced topic than you might realize, and what I'm referring to here is that when we create geometry that's going to be revolved, what we can do is we can create what's called a doubled dimension, and that doubled dimension allows you to create essentially the diameter dimension before you actually do the revolve. So let's say I create a construction line here, and then I go to the dimension command, and I create a dimension from this vertical line to the construction line. So what we can do is we can come across here, we can make this 140 millimeters, and then we can choose the command feature revolve. Now this sketch has one single construction line in it, so when we jump into the command feature revolve, what we end up with is SolidWorks automatically selecting that construction line. We turn this thing into a revolve, and now what we also see is that that dimension changed from a linear dimension of 140 to a diameter dimension. It's going to show up as a diameter dimension on the drawing, and it added the actual diameter symbol there. Now, what's interesting about this is the only reason that happened is because when I created my revolve, I chose the same construction line as the construction line I used with the dimension. And what I mean by that is sometimes when we create revolve sketches, especially with complicated geometry, sometimes what we do is we end up creating a second construction line in the same sketch. I've got a construction line down here, and I've got a construction line up here. Well, let me exit this sketch and edit the feature, edit the revolve feature. And I'm going to say, don't revolve about this lower line where I created the dimension to. Instead, revolve about this upper line here. And so I hit the green check mark. And now what we see is that the dimension changed back to a linear dimension, and the diameter symbol has gone away. So the only time you get that diameter symbol and the only time you get it to behave like a diameter dimension in the drawing is when you actually revolve and dimension to the same construction line. Now, there are some other little nuances there, like if I create a dimension that just goes from the construction line to this line here. So let's say we make that 25 millimeters, and now you see it's not a doubled dimension. Remember, this is the construction line I revolved about. Well, now when we jump out here, we see that that automatically changed it to a radius dimension. It added the R on the end there, and then you see that this also behaves like a radius dimension in the drawing if we create a 2D drawing. And so now if I were to edit that feature again and switch back to that lower line, so get rid of this construction line here from the axis of revolution and instead choose this line down here, now we'll see that the behavior jumped to the other dimension. This 25 changed back to a linear dimension, and the 140 changed back to a diameter dimension, not only in the way that it is displayed with the diameter symbol, but also in the way that it behaves, in that it's actually dimensioning across that circle there. So that's going to behave differently in the drawing as well and be a little bit easier to apply if you do insert model items in the drawing. The final thing that I wanted to talk about here when it comes to these doubled dimensions, because I don't always use doubled dimensions to create a revolve. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll use a doubled dimension because I'm anticipating performing a mirror a little bit later in the design. So for example, I might do something like this where I extrude that geometry out like so, and then I might create a shell where I remove these faces using the shell command, and then I might get in there and do a mirror command. So select this body, hold control, select this plane that I want to mirror about, let go of control, and then I've added this in here in my context menu to make that a little bit faster. So what's nice about this workflow is now that 140 shows up as the total dimension here, because when I created that 140, I created it as a doubled dimension going across. Now the 25 is only going to half, so I would probably want to fix that as well. So let me edit that sketch, and let me get rid of this 25. Let me get rid of this extra dimension here as well. And so now I'll create that 25 dimension going from here to here, and I'll cross over the center line to get that double dimension. Very helpful when you're doing a mirroring type of application, because now we see these dimensions are actually showing up going the full distance. The final thing that I want to mention about this functionality is that if you hold the shift command, so if I create a dimension here that goes from this angled line to the construction line, so there's the angle dimension, you can hold shift. And when you hold shift, you can see that now you get that double dimension going across that construction line. And although this isn't really all that helpful for like a revolve, I mean, maybe it would show you like the total cone angle, but a lot of times you show that as a draft angle, so you're only trying to show half. When you're doing a mirror, this is incredibly helpful. This is very commonly the way this is described when you do a mirror command. So if you go over here and then you hold shift and then you drop in that dimension, let go of shift, let go of your mouse, you can type in what you want that dimension to be. And now when we exit the sketch and bring this thing into a drawing, we're going to see those total dimensions showing up because we got those doubled dimensions across the construction lines. So let me know down below in the comments if you learned anything new from this video. Let me know if there's some other spots where you find this double dimension and double angle dimension to be pretty useful. Be sure to hit the like button, be sure to subscribe, and if you like my style of teaching, be sure to visit us at TooTallToby.com/training. We've got a lot of great courses. Even if you're just in the beginning of your SolidWorks journey, we can give you courses that'll help you get up to speed and get you up to certified SolidWorks professional in probably about 30 days. So if that's one of your goals, be sure to check it out, TooTallToby.com/training, and I will look forward to seeing all of you in the next TooTallToby Power Moves.